And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another brand. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a brand new edition here of On Deck here on CSR. Of course, me, Charles, Prodigy, Richey, and of course, my tag team partner here on the airways, Reese the Ruler. Right now, got a good, exciting show right now. The biggest highlight of the week was the wrap up of the NBA Finals, which occurred this past Sunday on October 11th. The Lakers were able to avert a game 7 right there. They handled business in game number 6, dominating fashion right there. Everything was just falling their way right now. And let the GOAT discussion once again continue to pick back up some momentum right here with LeBron James. There's quite a few players, legends right now, like guys like Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. I'll probably say so more Isaiah Thomas, who's probably thinking he's probably established himself already. We'll get into that in just a moment here. But then we also got some other headlines, too, regards the NBA on NBA Fast Break. Will the Lakers be able to finally get CP3, Chris Paul, traded from the Thunder? Will they be able to add on to it? Plus, we also got our Mount Rushmore for the NBA as their season is concluded. They'll be looking to plan their season around Martin Luther King Day. Then we got some baseball playoffs and NFL extra points on MLB Upper Deck and NFL extra points. And then you can hear our picks of the week. Once again, you can follow us on social media. You can follow my man right here on the right-hand side of your screen, Reese the Ruler. You can follow him on Facebook at Kilo Sabi, and on Twitter and Instagram at ISCR3 with another boat. Myself, I'm Prodigy Richey. And Reese, let's get right into it. Let the games begin right now. Title number 17 for the Laker franchise, but more importantly, too, for LeBron James in his career, which has been, seems like forever since he's won his last championship. 4 years in the making right now, and last being to the finals in 2 years. He is now 4-6 right now. Where does this place him right now? Does this move the needle? Has he already established himself, or has Neil been pushed a little bit closer in your mind?
Excuse me. Well, first off, I just want to say, with the GOAT discussion, I just believe that it's only one. It's only one the GOAT. That's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the GOAT, but LeBron James is a GOAT. He's a GOAT in his own way. When it's all said and done, LeBron James probably will lead the league in points, be top 3 in assists, be top 3 in rebounds, and probably number 1 in minutes played. He will have the best NBA career ever. But it's kind of like, to me, he's like Peyton Manning. You know how Peyton Manning had always them good seasons that like never get over the hump. So when you put him in a discussion, you be like, Peyton Manning is the best quarterback, but then you look at Brady, and then you said Brady got rings. So I just really think that when it comes that I think Jordan is the GOAT, but I think LeBron James is a GOAT in his own way. So when it comes to like the GOAT discussion, to me, it's really only two. That's Michael. When you great players ever, I think it's definitely Kobe is in that discussion. But if you want to say things like rings and all that, like I ask people about um Bill Russell. Well, why isn't Bill Russell the GOAT? Or then they said, well, he played in a different era with just 8 to 10 teams. I said, well, Robert Horry played in the same era as Jordan, and he has more. Why isn't he the GOAT? So I just believe that LeBron James built his resume, and he does have some tough final losses just in the era that we grew up in. And even watching The Last Dance, Michael said, at that time, winning championships was the goal. Bird did it. Magic did it. Isaiah Thomas did it. So I believe in an era when it was judged on championships, and when we talk about it, we grew up in that era. So we look at that like, you've been there 10 times, you only won 4. How can you be a GOAT? And I just think, like, if that's the only thing that's really holding y'all back, besides him going 8 years straight with 2 different teams, as well as 9 and 10 years. Come on, man. He stopped a lot of people from getting rings. People have to respect his greatness, and that's why he said on that podium, "I want my damn respect."
Yeah, and here it is, just in case for people who missed the biggest soundbite of the week.
It's an unbelievable feeling, not only for myself, but for my teammates, for the organization, for the coaches, for the trainers, everybody that's here.
It was good. Like, it was loud. It, we can't hear it now.
And there you have it right there. Yeah, I definitely couldn't say any more right there because the thing is, too, I feel like this conversation right here, it's fun to have, but to be honest, it could be one of the most annoying conversations, too. Just something that will just never be known. I mean, at the end of the day, it was different eras, like you just alluded to. I mean, for all this, I think the biggest thing, what they look at, I think what they try and pay attention with a guy like LeBron James and the thing is too, where he gets like a little bit more ahead, where people place him above Kobe, then like near Jordan, which that kind of needs to be relooked at. But it just seems like LeBron James, when you look at his overall career, he seems like he has that it factor. He's always a great teammate. He's always a great ambassador for the NBA. He just seems to like be the guy. It's like they want to like care to like around that star of like the show right there and what he brings to the table with that because he's had a huge hand in helping gain the NBA to the next level. You could say what you will about him going to like forming up the All Star era right here. I mean, this past decade, 2010. I mean, truth of the matter is too. A lot of people will tell you over the years there has been a lot of like all stars like over the years where it's like with Oscar Robertson teaming up with Lou Alcindor, which later became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar right there. I mean, don't forget. I mean, you see that. How about Wilt Chamberlain teaming up with Jerry West, Elgin Baylor right there? You can argue that was a superstar team. How about like later on, like aside from that, you probably go maybe Clyde Drexler with Keem Olajuwon, Robert Ory, Kenny the Jet Smith right there, a guy who's struggling, who lost the finals 3 years prior before he finally won it with the Rockets in '95. That was another example right there. I mean, he even had the Lakers once upon a time, even 16 years ago when he had Gary Payton the glove and Carl the mailman Malone. And they failed to deliver one. But at the same time, too, it's been happening for a lot of years. I just feel with LeBron, what ends up happening is he just seems to be the guy like people likes to cater to a lot more. And I feel like at the end of the day, right now, LeBron James, what he does, I mean, for this league, it's been incredible. A lot of people will definitely like look at like just as much the hard work he had to put into, and people will look at the difficulty what he's been doing. I think during this run of the NBA championships, the team he's really had to drag to the finish line was the Cavaliers, common denominator. Dwayne Wade was a huge key in his career where he helped them show them how to win with that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you can even make a case for, well, what about the number one scorer all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, leading scorer right there, six-time MVP, six championships, two Finals MVPs. I mean, he still has a multitude of records. I mean, to go on that really looks that people seem to kind of dismiss me as me.
Yeah, like you said, it's funny how when somebody says super team, when in the beginning, super teams was when people say the big three, it amazes me how that comes with LeBron era. I look at things like before LeBron, like right before LeBron, we cheered on the Boston Celtics for putting Ray Allen, KG,
Yep.
Paul Pierce, and later playoff Rondo. You know what I'm saying? We wanted these guys to win because these guys never done it, and that's okay. Then when LeBron James go, like I have people saying, and you seeing my post on Facebook, people saying, I'm really mad at LeBron James because he didn't stick it out with his team. But this is a business. If I can get traded overnight in my sleep, then I feel like if I want to leave, then I can leave and go other places. Then when you bring up the GOAT conversation, people only, if you really listen about it, people only say Mike 6-0, but they don't talk about his early careers when he was eliminated in a lot of first round exits. LeBron James has never been eliminated in the first round exit. They don't talk about when Mike came back out of retirement the first time, and they was about to win a game, and he got his cookie stole, and they lost that game, and then lose the series to Shaq and Penny. We don't talk about that. People seem to dismiss it, and they always say, "Oh yeah, them 2 years. Uh, the reason why the Rockets won is because Mike won that. That was only one. Mike came back that second team. It was a full team or not. The great Michael Jordan did it, but that seemed to be X'd out. We don't count that yet to him. And then we don't count when he retired and played for the Wizards, and he was a shell of himself. It seems like it's always a excuse for Michael Jordan. Oh, Michael Jordan did this, and then when you come to it, all they say is 6-0 in the 6-0 in the finals, 4-6 in the finals. If that's the only thing that you're going off, like that's crazy. Like LeBron James wasn't making in that era. He always crying. He's crying in a foul. He's 6'8", 250. Hey, Rich, I don't know about you, but in the rule book, a foul is a foul. It didn't say if you 6'9" or you 6'8" and you weigh this much, they got to hit you harder, correct? A foul is a foul. So it doesn't matter. This era is different. No hand checking, no touching. So when players are used to playing in a certain era and be like, oh, if it was back then, they was punching people, hitting people. It wasn't flagrant fouls back then. So it was, like I said, it was a different era for people to say LeBron James wouldn't be great on the Cleveland team back then. You remember Mike had trouble against them Cleveland teams back then. Imagine putting LeBron James on them Cleveland teams back then in them late 80s, early 90s. Like I tell people, you guys are blind. All you guys see is 6-0 and 4-6 and say he'll never be better.
And the other point, I hate to sound critical of a guy like Jordan, but I mean, I gotta tell it like it is. I mean, this is just my opinion. And if I upset a couple of people, I know I commented on your post earlier in the week, but he took time off. I know, I understand the reasons what happened. I get what, personal, I'm not gonna go after him with his father. I'll leave that the hell alone. I will not go there. But there was a gambling scandal right there. Not that they really had anything to do with it. I think the truth is, I talked to another friend of mine too. One of the biggest reasons that his body was taking physical beating, and then not only that, I feel like when Jordan started winning his early championships, like his first two, he even said in the documentary right there when he was on that dream team. The only reason why he didn't retire because he wanted to be the first to win three, which Magic and Bird did not do. The bottom line is those greats right there, even like Kareem, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, Kobe. Guess what, Jordan? Those guys never took time off, breaks during their career and came out of retirement. I mean, granted, you had success right there, but I would just love to just see him play through it because at the end of the day, you did play baseball. And you still chose yourself to play sports rather than not keep yourself active. I have a problem when you step away from the game like that. Because my personal opinion, I'll re-say this again. They will won their first four in a row. And then year number 5, around 95, is when the Bulls would have gotten stopped. You would have started had to recycle your core with Horace Grant. Paxson, Horace Grant already had enough Jordan right there. They're already butting heads. I think he would have left town regardless if he was there or not. And then I think what would happen was I think they will have won their final 3. They will have won 7 as opposed to 6. My thing is, it's still a big question mark right there had he not stepped away because I'm not so sure about them winning 8 in a row like I used to think like a while ago looking at that team. He would have got stopped.
You know what? I really think that if he doesn't retire, even after 98, I believe that he probably doesn't lose until either 99 or 2000. I don't think he loses the next year. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, I don't think he loses in 99 because of the shortened season. They just came off a tremendous win. They would have had the same core. Just imagine if they keep the same core. I don't think in a shortened season that they definitely lose that one. The next year, that's when I believe you might see normalness. But I definitely do not think, and I don't think Horace Grant leaves. Even if he does leave, I believe that with Michael Jordan being there, they will be able to get another, a person to fill that void. I'm definitely with you. He took time off. We don't know. LeBron James been here and he looked like he gonna play to 40.
Yeah,
I don't see everybody saying, look, last year he slowed down, all this injuries, father time.
because
Well,
at the end,
just like that. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but LeBron James did a hell of a lot better keeping his body in shape versus Jordan did. Because guess what? I mean, yeah, LeBron had the groin that 1 year in 18, but I think he will probably experience his knee injuries a lot sooner should he have played through. Because remember, he didn't start realizing that until he came back out of retirement for his second time in his first stint with the Wizards. I think LeBron James was much better shape than Jordan was. Way better.
Exactly, but you can even in the documentary, Jordan even said these guys didn't do weight training. These guys didn't do anything. These guys wasn't big and bulky. Them was the centers. Everybody was skinny. Michael lift weights now is in the combine. They trying to see how many you can bench press. They're looking for things like that, and that's why I'm trying to tell people: if you put LeBron James in that era was almost unathletic. You know what I'm saying? So if you put him in that era doing what he's doing now at that size, he would change the game and maybe took over Jordan, a 6'8" person, because they wasn't shooting threes like that. Granted, LeBron James just started, but imagine this LeBron now in that era. Oh my gosh, it'll be him and Jordan being in the East like crazy. But for people to say he wouldn't make it, he's soft, you're out of your mind. I understand we're hurt because of the '08 decision. I said, yeah, we have to let that go. At the end of the day, he made the choice that was going to make him happy. The people said he should have stayed with who? They had Elgoskis, Jameson, Devontae West, Mo Williams, Varejao. Come on, Rich. What help? Why am I staying here winning by myself 62 games a season? Meanwhile, I'm playing against the Boston Celtics that's beating me because why? They got a big three.
And we'll hold it right there. We're gonna wrap up this little NBA fast break edition. We're gonna get into our GOAT conversation. I mean, our Mount Rushmore greatest of all time. Who will be our four? And plus, is there a possibility of the Lakers getting CP3? And then we'll transition to the AL and NLCS of MLB Upper Deck. We might see our World Series matchup decide by the end of the night. I'm Charles Brad's Richie. That's Richie Ruler. You're watching and listening to On Deck on CSR.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
And welcome back here to On Deck on CSR with me, Charles Prodigy Richie, and Reese the Roller right now. We are wrapping up our NBA fast break right now. One latest report as the Lakers right now are getting ready to defend their title right now. People are pondering if they'll be able to win 2-3 more with LeBron James right now. And I just want to hear your thought, Reese, right now. CP3, Chris Paul, a guy who they tried getting for back in 2011 was the latest right there when the late Kobe Bryant was playing on that team. Tried to get him away from the New Orleans Hornets at that point in time. A lot of NBA owners blocked the trade because it wasn't competitive right now. But for the Lakers, if they are able to pull off signing CP3 right now, they'll have to part ways with the following guys right now. You got Danny Green at about over $15 million, Avery Bradley over $5 million, JaVale McGee at $4.2 million, Kyle Kuzma at 3.6, Quinn Cook at $3 million, and Alex Caruso right there. What do you think right now? I mean, Magic Johnson still deserves a little bit of credit for setting up this platform right there. I know he failed to get Anthony Davis, but I mean, now you got a championship with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Lakers. and you got a proven coach right now with Frank Vogel, who I think has been arguably one of LeBron James' better coaches to date. I'm not sure if that puts him ahead of Tyronn Lue or Eric Spoelstra, but for right now, what do you think right now? Made themselves more attractive to give us another try and finally wears Lakers uniform and gets the championship with LA.
Well, first, hats off to Frank Vogel. I know he had a lot of nightmares playing against LeBron back in the day when he was the Indiana, but also Tyronn Lue just signed his deal, 5 year deals with the Clippers. I will have to agree with you to say, as far as involvement as being a coach, because like a lot of people will be like, LeBron James coaching that team. I can actually say that Frank Vogel, and you can tell by his substitutions, his editing of the starting lineups, that he actually understood what he had to change each game, each quarter, each half. So definitely hats go off to him, and that's why LeBron James even said Frank Vogel wants his respect. To let them know that this right here was a team effort. When you look at the other players on the team with the CP3, I'm actually against it. I don't know what it is, as I just don't want them to be an old man team. CP3 is in his years. CP3 has never made it to the Western Conference Finals. I believe we can get people like I like Alex Caruso off the bench, not saying a starter. I take another stab at playoff Rondo. Um, if we can get him, try to sell Kuzma if we can. But it's a lot of I see suggestions for them. I saw them having a trade that involves Zach LaVine. I saw them getting a Devin Booker, which is I think is if they can land Booker, then that right there is a steal. But I'm not with the CP3 only because point guardish, LeBron James has the ball a lot of the time. So I say we either go for depth or at least a young star, like around Anthony Davis age.
I would just only say the only concern I would have is just the chemistry. Is the chemistry going to change a little bit now you bring this guy in because you got more egos involved? And I'm not saying LeBron James can't make it work with anyone, but I'd be a little hesitant too. And I think because like a guy like Alex Caruso, Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, those guys showed me something in the playoffs as far as like heart and want right there. They were huge, in my opinion, to like taking the burden off the load of like LeBron and AD because they had to go through a tough perimeter and inside the paint defense for, against the Heat recently, which was the only team that took them to 6 games. I just felt like, and then Rajon Rondo right there. I guess I'm a little bit like hesitant of the chemistry. You could probably make the argument that Rajon Rondo is that third star and probably not necessary for CP3.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I believe that we lack shooting. Like Rondo did exactly what was needed from Rondo. I don't believe we need another star in there. Spread the ball around. I believe that they need more depth. Danny Green at 15 to me, a million a year after missing that shot. I'm sorry. I can find a 3 point. You could probably get if Seth Curry was available for about 7 mil a year. I think he signed a contract with the team he on for 3 years to 21 million. So he can go. J.R. Smith is that kid in the classroom that you get signed to a group project.
Boy,
You
wouldn't
know he
that be
ain't
the
gonna
ultimate
do
slap
nothing
in
but
the
still get the.
wouldn't that be the ultimate slap in the face of Steph Curry and the Warriors right there? You lose his brother right there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's other players and other things. I believe that they need to get some more shooting, some more depth, and things like that. But I don't really see a Chris Paul coming in effect. I
Yeah.
believe if we can get a healthy Rondo, then we get it's no need to trade your assets like Alex, Caruso did it good. If we're gonna trade Kuzma, then let's get something actually value for him. Because we don't want LeBron James and CCP3 that we didn't make these trades with last 3 years, and now they're retiring, and now AD is on the Lakers team by himself. So have somebody that's gonna, come with, AD when it's done. We can pass the torch like another star. That's why I say that they can pull something off with Devin.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. I'll definitely hold off on that for right now. I kind of like the idea at first, but then to be honest with you, here from your side, I probably want to like slow down on it, bringing the guy. I'm not sure if I want to risk messing with the chemistry and the
Sorry about
trust.
that. That's
No, it's
my
okay.
iPod.
No, don't even worry about it. I'm just more concerned. I just don't want to see LeBron James get painted in this light where it's like you're kind of like doing like your teammates dirty once again. Like, like people going to make a spin like it's like, even though he's not leaving the Lakers, but in a way, by these guys partying with you, it's like you're kind of like turning your back on them just to get someone bigger to. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I'll be a little concerned with right there. I like the idea, but maybe slam on the brakes a little bit. And then not only that, too, I think Jeannie Buss really has to ask herself, too, you really want to put yourself like the predicament where you waited 7 years to get into the playoffs, yet alone, and then like 10 years just to win a championship? Do you really want to go for that mess right there? They were loyal to Kobe Bryant, yes, but that loyalty came with a price, not so much on him, but some other bad contracts they had to clean up because her brothers at the time, Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak. So real quickly, just to wrap it up, Mount Rushmore, I'm sure you had time to think about it. Who will be your top 4 guys you'll put on the NBA's mountaintop all time?
All time, I'm gonna go ahead with the great Bill Russell. Hold on. First of all, this is not in order, guys. It's not in order. Just saying, I'm
That's
gonna
your
go with the
perspective.
great.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna go with the great Bill Russell. After that, I gotta go with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
Okay. Wait, say that one more time, please.
I got Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. That's my 4.
Me, I will definitely go with Bill Russell, Kareem, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. I'll probably have to choose those 4.
So we got the familiar one.
Just a little slight tweak in there. I had to put Kareem in there. Kareem is still, no one's unseated him yet for
So
like
I guess we just
for the top like scoring leader
we
yet.
just got the same.
Yeah.
The same but one person. I just think that Magic came in the game and Magic had such a big impact on the game, and
Yeah.
him winning 5, he just had a big impact in it that he did. It'll be never another person like him. So, and I believe that you got to always put Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan and LeBron James will always even be there. You can either say Kobe, but when you really look at it, so I can really, I guess I can probably substitute for me. Kobe and Magic is a switch. Maybe Kobe, Magic, and Bill can be a switch, but I'd take them 4.
All righty. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition here of NBA Fast Break. Now we're getting ready to go transition to MLB Upper Deck.
What time is it? Game time!